Welcome to Echoes of the Lost audiobook, where forgotten stories come to life. Dive into worlds of mystery, survival, and the unknown. If you enjoy our stories, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with our latest audiobooks. Chapter 10, Roars in the Ruins. Ryder sat in the corner of the old shop, back pressed against the cold concrete wall, his tired arms cradling the seraphim device he'd salvaged from the southern ruins rubble. Its blinking red light cast faint, eerie streaks across his face in the thick darkness. Lena sprawled on the floor a few steps away, eyes closed but her hand resting lightly on her spear thrower, down to one last spear, a stark reminder of their fragility. The desert outside lay silent, but it was no safe silence. It felt like a predator's held breath before a strike. Ryder sensed it, though he kept it unspoken. This world forgave no complacency. He set the device down, pulling his notebook from his pocket, opening it under the compass's dim glow. He scribbled fast, Seraphim device, South Ruin. Red light steady post-activation. Needs power for data. He paused, studying the device, round, heavy, with an alien port and intricate etchings on its shell. It wasn't just tech, it was a clue, a gateway to MH370, to why he'd been flung into 2100. But he needed power, the generator from the prior ruin or something like it, now out of reach. Lena stirred, eyes snapping open, cutting through the dark with their sharpness. "You're not sleeping again," she said, voice rough but unsurprised. She sat up, brushing dust off her jacket, checking her lone spear with the care of someone who knew its worth. "What's got you looking half mad?" Ryder gave a faint smile, pocketing the notebook. "Not mad. Just preoccupied. This," he nodded at the device, "could give us answers. But I need a way in. And I don't want to die before I get them." He met her gaze, serious. "You rested enough? We need to move, but not if you're spent." Lena smirked, standing and stretching, joints cracking. "I'm fine. A little sleep's enough, don't fuss over me." She moved to the broken window, peering at the desert now paling under a gray dawn. "I want the ruin's center by noon. If there's gear, tools, water, anything, it'll be there. But watch it, muties love lurking in places like this." Ryder nodded, stowing the device in his bag. "Muties," he echoed, recalling the land shark and Lena's tales of the Black Season. "How bad are they without a storm?" "Worse than you think," Lena said, voice low. "No storm, they hunt actively. Fast, strong, and not dumb. If we hit one, I don't have enough spears to drop it." She glanced at him. "You've got that bar, use it well. I can't save you if it pounces." "Deal," Ryder said, gripping the iron bar. He followed her out, stepping into the narrow alley deeper into the ruin. Towering wrecks loomed, cracked concrete walls, rusted steel jutting like broken bones. Old streets lay half-buried in sand, littered with car husks and faded signs, remnants of a bustling city, now a silent tomb. They reached the center, a broader plaza than before, dominated by towering debris, maybe a city hall or mall once. Lena signaled a halt, pointing to a rubble pile a few meters off. "Tracks," she whispered. Ryder looked, deep gouges in the sand, double a human foot size, with long claw marks scarring the earth. "Mutie," she said, voice taut. "Fresh. It's close." Ryder tightened his grip, pulse racing. "What kind?" he asked, scanning around. "No idea," Lena replied, raising her spear thrower. "But big. And not alone, look." She pointed to smaller tracks, numerous, scattered across the plaza. "Pack." We need cover, now. They retreated, ducking behind a fallen wall, watching. The first sound came, a low rasp, like metal scraping stone, from the tallest rubble pile. Ryder held his breath, glancing at Lena. She signaled silence, eyes locked on the source. Then it emerged, a massive creature, over 3 meters tall, lean yet muscular, its glossy gray skin like burnt rubber. Its head was long, eyeless, just a wide maw of jagged teeth, vibrating with each rasp. Around it, 4 smaller ones, dog-sized, darted swiftly, noses sniffing the air. Dredgers, Lena whispered, voice trembling faintly. Diggers, metal eaters. Smell blood from miles. If they spot us, we're not outrunning them. Ryder eyed the big one, noting scars on its skin, like machine cuts. Seraphim, he muttered. Maybe they released them to guard something. He nodded at the rubble pile. If they're here, something valuable's down there. Don't care what they're guarding, Lena hissed. I want to live. She scanned for an exit. Circle around, stay clear. If we run, they'll chase. But before they could move, a smaller one whipped its head, nose flaring, letting out a warning screech. The big one turned, maw gaping, unleashing a roar that shook the ground. Damn it, Lena cursed, raising her weapon. Ready. They've seen us. Ryder stood, bar raised, heart hammering. The big one charged, faster than he'd imagined, claws slashing the concrete wall, debris flew. Lena fired, her spear hit its neck, piercing skin, but didn't stop it. It roared, black blood oozing, lunging at them. Ryder dodged, swinging the bar into its leg, metal clanged, but it only paused a second. Run! Lena yelled, yanking him across the plaza. The smaller ones gave chase, snarling, claws raking sand. They dove into a nearby building, its door shattered, interior cluttered with old machinery and snapped cables. Ryder tripped, his bag spilling, the Seraphim device rolling out. A small one leapt, but he kicked hard, sending it back. Lena hauled him into a narrow hall, slamming a metal door shut. Claws scraped it, joined by furious roars. Won't hold long, she said, panting. Find an exit, or a way to kill them. Ryder scanned, spotting a large machine, maybe an old compressor, with pipes and rusted valves. If it's got pressure, we can blow it, he said fast. Trap them. He rushed over, checking, a valve worked, but no fuel. He recalled the black sap from the trees, a bit left in Lena's bag. Black sap. Give it. Lena dug it out, tossing the chunk. He stuffed it into a pipe, sparking the lighter, flames flared, black smoke billowing. He cranked the valve, pressure building, a shrill whine rising. Out, he shouted, dragging Lena to a broken window. They leapt into sand as the blast hit, machine exploding, metal shards flying, crushing 2 smaller ones. The big one roared, wounded but charging. Keep running. Lena barked, pulling him through the desert. They sprinted over sand, the roar fading, the big one, badly hurt, couldn't keep up. They collapsed behind a large dune, gasping. We're clear, Ryder said, meeting her gaze. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, she corrected, sweat streaming. Good idea. But I'm out of spears. She looked at him, exhaustion mixed with respect. What did you save from the bag? Ryder checked, the Seraphim device was intact, though the bag tore. Still here, he said, holding it up. But I need power. We've got to hit the last ruin, get that generator. Lena nodded, slumping into the sand. Rest first. Then go. Seraphim, hounds, muties, we need strength to fight on. She leaned against him, silent. Ryder felt her warmth, a wordless bond between two survivors. Chapter 11, Currents in the Sand. Ryder sat against the large dune, breath still ragged from fleeing the dredger pack in the southern ruin. The rusted iron bar in his hand bore fresh scratches, proof of their survival, and he gripped it tight like a badge of endurance. Lena sat beside, back against him, sweat streaking her forehead, her bare hands trembling faintly from exhaustion and lack of arms, her spear thrower now empty, its last spear spent saving them. The desert stretched ahead, crimson under a pale sun, silent in a way that quickened his pulse, a menacing calm, like a prelude to a new storm. He pulled the Seraphim device from his torn bag, setting it on the sand. Its red light glowed steady, no longer blinking, as if ready to speak, if he could listen. He opened his notebook, scribbling under the compass's faint glow, Seraphim device, activated stable. Needs generator for access. Prior ruin, priority. He paused, glancing at Lena. We've got to go back to the last ruin, he said, voice low but firm. The generator's there. If I power it, I can crack this, figure out what the Seraphim want. Lena turned, her tired eyes sharp with faint disbelief. Back, she echoed. You know hounds are still there, right? They won't ditch that generator, it's gold to them. She sighed, brushing sand off her hands. But I get it. You don't survive without answers. Fine, we go. But we need a plan, I'm out of spears, and you've just got that bar. Ryder nodded, feeling the trust in her tone, not blind agreement, but recognition his reasons warranted risk. Thanks, he said, pulling the water bottle from his bag and offering it. Drink. We need you sharp. She took it, sipped lightly, and handed it back with a fleeting look, a wordless understanding. We rest an hour, Lena said, leaning into the sand. Then move. It's a few hours back, if no trouble. She closed her eyes, hand resting near her useless spear thrower. Ryder sat beside, not sleeping, watching the desert, mind swirling around the device and generator. He needed power, data, and above all, to live to use them. An hour passed swiftly, the sun climbing higher, heating the sand beneath their feet. They rose, starting the trek north to the prior ruin, where they diverted hounds with black sap. The path felt familiar but grueling, thick sand weighed their steps, and twisted trees along the way loomed like enemy shadows. Lena led, eyes scanning, moving with a hunter's wariness despite her lack of weapons. As the ruin emerged, low-wrecked buildings and the hounds extinguished fire, Ryder's tension spiked. No smoke, he whispered. They gone? Maybe, Lena replied, crouching. But don't trust it. Hounds love traps, or leaving stragglers to guard. She signaled him to follow, guiding him around the edge, avoiding the main plaza. They reached the warehouse where he'd seen the generator, its door still ajar, darkness thick inside. Lena paused at the threshold, listening. Noise, she whispered. Metal clanking, soft. Someone's in there. She glanced at him. Want that generator? Fight or sneak? Ryder thought fast, scanning around. Sneak, he said. Fight, we lose, they've got guns. He pointed to a rubble pile nearby. I make noise there, draw them out. You grab the generator, or anything useful. Lena nodded, though her eyes flickered with worry. Quick. If there's too many, we're stuck. She slipped into the warehouse's shadows as Ryder darted to the rubble, grabbing a small concrete chunk. He hurled it at a metal drum meters away. A shrill clang echoed through the ruin. Footsteps burst from the warehouse. 2 figures charged out, guns raised. "Who's there?" a raspy voice barked, flashlight beams sweeping. Ryder ducked behind the rubble, heart pounding as light grazed past, nearly catching him. 2 hounds, one tall and gaunt with matted hair, the other short with an iron mask, moved slowly, searching. "Probably a rat," the short one muttered, but kept his gun firm. Ryder stayed still, waiting as they drifted farther. He crept back to the warehouse, finding Lena inside, wrestling the generator from a corner. It was heavy, rusted, but intact, wires loose but fixable. "Got it," she whispered, urgent. "But it's heavy, we need to carry." "I've got it," Ryder said, bending to lift one end. They hoisted it, stepping out, but a shout froze them. "Someone's in the shed," the tall one roared, sprinting back. Gunfire cracked, bullets embedding in the wall near them. "Run!" Lena yelled, shoving the generator into his arms. "South, go. I'll distract." She bolted out, snatching a metal rod from the floor and hurling it at the short one. It hit his shoulder, toppling him. Ryder clutched the generator, racing through the ruin, feet pounding sand, heart thundering. Shouts and footsteps chased, but he didn't look back. He reached the ruin's edge, ducking behind a broken wall, setting the generator down. Lena appeared minutes later, panting, sleeve torn. "They gave up," she said, slumping beside him. "Just 2, lucky. But they'll call more." Ryder nodded, inspecting the generator. "Still works," he said, pointing to the wires. "With fuel, like black sap or the pit stuff, I can run it." He met her gaze. "Thanks for saving me, again." Lena snorted, but her eyes glinted satisfaction. "Don't get used to it. You owe me big now." She leaned against the wall, breathing steadying. "What now? Fire it up here?" "No," Ryder said. "Too close to hounds. We take it to the south ruin, safer." He pulled the Seraphim device out, setting it beside the generator. "I need to crack this, today." They rested briefly, then hauled the generator south. The trek was slow, the machine's weight aching his shoulders, but Lena didn't complain. She matched his pace, eyes vigilant. When the southern ruin loomed, they stashed the generator in the old shop, barring the door with a steel beam. Ryder checked,